I'm going to go ahead and put about 8 slices of bacon, and I've got it partitioned out here, so I'm just going to take the bacon out. And I like to cut this bacon into divided into 3 separate pieces. So what I'm going to do is you want to render the fat, but you don't want to make it super, super crispy. Normally when I make bacon, I make it on a baking sheet in the oven. I think that's the easiest way to make bacon, but for this dish, I like to do it in my cast iron skillet, and I'll show you why in a few minutes. It's just, it adds a little something to the dish. But if I'm making it for the family, I definitely lay it on a baking sheet and put it in the oven and bake it. Usually just takes about 20 minutes. The aroma is just fantastic. I love the smell of cooking bacon. I'm going to pull these guys out and lay them on my paper towel dish. There, lined with paper towel. These 2 look good. Again, we don't want them really, really crispy, just slightly rendered. Okay, so to this bacon grease that you want to keep in here, this is so delicious, I'm going to add 1 onion. And it's a Vidalia, it's a sweeter variety. And I'm going to add that to the bacon grease. And then I'm adding a half of a smaller size orange or red bell pepper. These are sweeter. I like to use green pepper when my kids aren't around, but they don't love green pepper, so this one's sweeter. But any kind of red pepper, colored pepper that you like, you can add it to here. And you're just going to saute this till golden. All that beautiful bacon grease and all that delicious flavor is all going to mix in with the onion. Onions caramelize and get so sweet, and I'm using a Vidalia onion in this, but you can use any white or brown onion that you want, doesn't matter. Nothing like frying things in bacon grease. You know, in the summer I love to take corn off the husk after you've had corn on the cob and you have some left over. Take a little bacon, put it in the pan, cut up real small, and then cut your corn off the cob and fry it in the bacon grease with the bacon. Oh my gosh, that is the best. It's looking really good. Again, we're just going to look for a little caramelization. We're looking for the onions to become translucent. You can still see the whites of the onion, and you want them to be translucent. That's when you know an onion is thoroughly cooked through. And of course, the more translucent they become, the more sweet the sugars in the onion come out. So that's what we're looking for, really sweet and really nicely sauteed onions. Okay, as you can see, the onions are really nice and caramelized, and the peppers, and just brings out the natural sweetness in there. And I'm going to turn down the heat. I'm actually going to turn it off, actually, just because this cast iron has a lot of heat reserved. And I'm going to go ahead and start adding in some of my other ingredients. Now, we talked about beans. I'm using Bush's. I can't tilt it because it's already open can, but we're going to add this. 2 cans of Bush's baked beans. That's my favorite kind. But you can use whatever brand that you like, or if you want to make them from scratch, of course you can do that. This is my favorite kind of recipe, semi-homemade. Can number 2 goes in to all that beautiful bacon grease and the onions, and of course the bell pepper. This recipe is for a green bell pepper. That's the way I like it the best. But this one is for, I used the yellow and orange pepper. Just a little sweeter. Okay, so to this, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of maple syrup, real maple syrup. It's not that thick, gross stuff that you get at the grocery store. This is real maple syrup. Well, it's a little slippery. I love it. Real maple syrup. About 1/4 cup of brown sugar. You can use dark or light, whatever you have on hand. I happen to have light brown sugar. And of course, the darker the brown sugar, the more molasses, so dark brown sugar would be optimal. I have 2 teaspoons of a good Dijon mustard, something that has a good flavor to it. You can add more if you like it, less if you don't, but I think it adds, again, some really nice flavor. 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. This is going to add some nice acid to this. Really, really delicious. And last but not least, 3/4 cup of your favorite barbecue sauce, whatever that is. Okay? And you're going to add that right on in.
What barbecue sauce are you using today?
Jim Beam. Okay, so we're gonna mix this all together and we're gonna pop it in the oven at about, I would say 325 is a good temperature, and you're gonna do it for 2 hours. I know it sounds like it's a lot of time, but you could also do this on your barbecue grill if you're grilling on the outside. You know, we've talked before about grilling, and we're gonna be doing a whole grilling series on here. But with your grill, you wanna have 2 heat zones always. And so one side is off, and the other side is on for grilling your meats. And so on the off side, it's basically just an oven. So you could put your baked beans, if you don't want to heat your house up, you just put those baked beans on the one side of your grill that is not on. You don't want it on direct heat. You want it on indirect heat. Okay, these look beautiful. And I've got my oven preheated to 325. I'm gonna pop that in there, and it's gonna be cooking for 2 hours. So I'm gonna top this with the bacon pieces. Okay, this is the bacon pieces we already pre-made. Slightly crispy, not floppy, but not, they still move, they're still pliable, but they're not super, super hard. And I'm just gonna line them on here. You want basically every scoop to have a little bit of bacon. This looks beautiful. So there's a little bit of bacon love in every bite. I'm gonna put one right in the middle here. I think that's where we need one. All right. So move this up so you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my preheated oven at 325. And in 2 hours, you'll get to see this absolute delicious baked bean dish. We'll see you in 2 hours. All right, folks, Trisha Jansen, the Foodie Princess. We've been cooking all day. I've got 3 separate recipes for you today. I'm gonna go ahead and taste my food because I have been dying. I've been cooking and slaving in the kitchen all day. I hope these recipes are easy for you to use. I want your feedback. It's Foodie Princess. Subscribe, please. Please leave me comments. Let me know if you made them, if you liked them, if you tweak things. I wanna know. But now I'm gonna dig into this food. This macaroni and cheese has been calling my name all afternoon. I've been slaving over a hot stove. Oh, look at these baked beans. So delicious. Chunks of bacon, nice and sweet. And I'll have a piece of sausage. I'm gonna do the, it's coming out everywhere. Put a little on my plate there so you can taste it. I'm gonna go in for a bite. What should I get first? I'm gonna do the mac and cheese. Look at that. Delicious. Oh my gosh. You know, the sharp cheddar on the top gives it that immediate mouthfeel that's crispy. It gives a nice topping. I'm gonna go in for some baked beans. They're hot. I don't want to burn myself. I might blow. They're hot, but those are delicious. Cooking them low and slow for 2 hours really brings out the natural flavors. They're thick, they're meaty. The bacon adds that nice level of smokiness. Oh, they're delicious. And then I'll do a kielbasa with some mustard. Delicious. All right, happy eating, everybody. Don't forget, Foodie Princess on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. We'll see you next time. I want more food.
The recipes will be in the links in the description of each individual video.